And so speaking about entrepreneurship, we have our final speaker of the evening. So here's an interesting thing. So Jarrod actually was one of the first people I met when I moved to Ottawa. And so actually Jarrod's aunt was my grade 7 English teacher. And she asked, she had me as a student when she was 12. Because she doesn't like me saying that I was her student. So yeah, she's like, oh, you're moving to Ottawa, you have to meet my nephew. And that's how I met Jarrod. And I would say probably 75% of the people I know in Ottawa is through Jarrod. So clearly a well-connected guy. And as you may notice, Jarrod is wearing a fedora. And I think, I sometimes wonder who's known more, Jarrod or the fedora. Because I actually was once at an entrepreneur event at Algonquin College. And a guy was talking about East Access, Jarrod will talk about. He was talking about East Access, he goes, is Jarrod here? He's like, oh, I guess he's not because I don't see the fedora. So that's pretty good branding. I also like to say that the fedora is kind of like the McDonald's arches, there's a certain comfort. I remember I once showed up at a networking event, and I wasn't sure about people. I wasn't sure, I didn't really know anyone. And like off in the distance, there was the fedora. And I'm like, okay, go towards the fedora. It was like that divine light. So without further ado, please welcome, with the fedora, Jarrod Goldsmith.
It's so nice to see a room full of friendly faces here, and especially a lot of us who've had similar upbringings in terms of entrepreneurship. Very few of us ever wanted to be an entrepreneur, I believe. I think a lot of it just fell into it. I'm not going to talk today about networking tips or tricks or branding best practices. I'm going to be talking a little bit more personal stories of some of the challenges that I've had that were probably more different than some of you. I'll gloss over my prehistory before I moved to Ottawa. I spent 4 years in Edmonton, actually. I was at the U of A.
There you go.
And I was studying archaeology. Some of you might know that, some of you might not. I like rocks. Human evolution was my thing. It's fun. And much like you were talking about passion, and then you were talking about following what you want to do, I never knew what I wanted to do. In high school, I started playing music, saxophone, much like Sylvia did. And it was my passion. I loved it. But ever since I started playing the saxophone, everyone I knew was saying, yeah, what are you going to do in life? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to do. But in Cégep, I grew up in Montreal, I started this course in business. I hated it. I took Cal, I took economics. I hated it. I didn't want to learn anything about business or marketing. I graduated, I went to McGill in anthropology, but I still played music. I studied with the professor, I played in the bands, and then I went and did a master's degree in Edmonton in archaeology. In the first week there, I auditioned for 3 bands, and I got into the U of A, the jazz band one, and I started playing, and I was really enjoying it, loving it. I was playing around town, all this, but again, I had no idea what I wanted to do in life. I just loved archaeology, and I loved music. Not worrying about where I was going to find a job. But at the time, I was president of the residents, I was campus security, I was president of the Students Association. I was very, very involved in getting an experience. Because I would mentor people at the time. I said, you know, so many people are coming out with CPAs or account or whatever degree, but what's differentiating you, what's going to help you find a job? It's your extracurricular activities. It's the things that you learn outside of academics that's going to help you find a job. So that's why my 4-year degree, my 2-year degree took me 4 years because I was so involved. I should have been working on my thesis more, but I was having a great time. I loved it. Moved back to my parents' basement, met a woman, moved to Ottawa, tried to get a government job. See, I told you it was fast. I thought, okay, I could kind of speak French. I grew up in Montreal, somewhat. And I thought, I have a graduate degree, how hard is it to get a government job? I'm ambitious, I was a lot younger, and I thought, I want to make the government a career. And I treated it like a full-time job, like many of you have had to go on EI. I don't want EI, I was never working. And I bounced around, literally bounced around government jobs every 4, 5, 6 months, I'd go on EI. 3 to 4 months, get a job. A job, wasn't a career. And then, oh, I'm sorry, we have to let you go. There was a contract term, casual agency, whatever. And I had a lot of great opportunities to work in government in many different departments. And actually, in retrospect, some of them were really useful, like the Canadian Intellectual Properties Office. I know a lot about trademarks. And now as entrepreneurs, we need to know about IP. But again, it was just a job. And my last job started in late 2010 with Marine Environmental Safety at Transport Canada. I was doing communications. Okay, great. Writing things, reading things. And I knew my contract was coming up soon. And I thought after 8 years of bouncing around jobs and being registered with 36 placement agencies, let me tell you, it's a game changer having to deal with agencies because there's a lot of high turnover. Everybody you're talking to, they move on, so I started keeping records of a database. This is where a lot of my database comes. So a lot of things I talk about in my YouTube channel is trial and error. It really is. I have a background in this. I was very organized, trying to find a career. But when I saw the writing on the wall, I thought, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. It was a full-time job to find a job, right? Everybody says that. And the woman I was seeing at the time, this is just early 2011. She got pregnant. By me, by the way. And I thought, whoa, this is different. I was going to be a dad. I can't go into music. I had to keep looking for a government job. There was no way I was going to be able to support, I could barely support myself. So I decided to see how things went. What happened? A few months in, just getting a larger belly. We went to a couple of, went to the first ultrasound, everything was fine, and I was encouraging her to get an abortion. I wasn't ready to have a child with her. She was an alcoholic. I didn't realize it. There was all different types of meds, and they were repeating this, that, and the other thing. But one thing, like users, many cases very good at concealing it. And before the pregnancy stuff, you'd go out drinking, everything was great. She'd always leave me with the bill. But she's out with a whole bunch of friends, and I'm footing the bill for all of her friends. And it just didn't seem right. And I realized later that she was an alcoholic. Hid it, I had no idea. Something happened. I was taking her to an appointment one day, and she miscarried in the lobby of the hospital. And it really opened my eyes to a lot of different things. A lot of emotions. You're sitting there, and the doctor's taking care of her, and it's just her mom came down, and it's a big whole thing. And I thought, this is my first big moment. Was, what if I wouldn't have gone into music? I would never have started ESACs. I would still be working in government by now if that didn't happen. Because I had to support somebody. I couldn't just disassociate myself with that. And she moved out shortly after that, and we haven't spoken in many, many years, which is fine. But it's one of those game changer things. And then I thought, how do I pursue music? I don't know anything about entrepreneurship. I'm not the best saxophone player out there, but I'm organized, and I know how to get things done. I also applied for the OSEP, the Ontario Self-Employment Benefits Program. I guess I was an ambassador for many years because it changed my life. I almost didn't get in. I don't know if you probably know the story. I auditioned. I went for an interview process. One person liked me, the other person didn't. They debated. And it got to the point where they said, okay, we're going to take a chance on this guy. But if I didn't get into that program, I would know nothing about entrepreneurship. I would know nothing about the marketing, the branding, the networking even. Because they're the first ones who said, you're starting up a business, good for you, pat on the back. This is before the Fedora, by the way. Go out and network. You're creating something out of nothing. My band, as some of you know, is an all saxophone band. No drums, no guitar, no singing, just saxes. Nobody's ever heard of a group like this. I thought, I don't teach music, I don't write music. I'm not just the type of player to go up and say, okay, what song would you like, what key would you like it in? I'm more of a reader. So my options were much more limited to music. All the while my family's telling me they're crazy. Don't do it, get a real job. And again, at this point I realized in my life, fuck it, I'm gonna go into what I want to do, my career, my passion is music. and dogs. I started with dogs in the company to help make ends meet because it was tough. And I didn't listen to anybody else. I said, I've been hearing my whole life, you're crazy, get a real job. And I said, no, this clock stops here, I'm done. This is what I'm going to do. I had to create something out of nothing. Nobody's looking for an all saxophone band. They're very, very rare. How am I going to get gigs? Nobody's going to hire me. They just don't know about this. You know what a string quartet? Okay, people know what a string quartet is. Saxophone quartet, that. I started going out to hundreds of networking events a year. I used to go to everything. 2 or 3 more people, it's a networking event. I would go to meetup.com and go to absolutely everything I could. And after a year, I'm starting to know people in town, but not many gigs. And I realized that the people I was meeting were never going to hire me. A lot of smaller networking events, free ones I was going to, a lot of multi-level marketing, financial aid, real estate, mortgage. Sorry if any of you were in that career field, but those are the types of people I was meeting, and they're throwing business cards at you and sell. And this is what I used to do, because everybody was doing it. Sell. Oh, yeah, I've got to hire an all saxophone, blah, 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 blah. Saxophone. And I joined it. Went to a chamber of commerce. I got a gig. The first time I met somebody. Wow, this is amazing. This is great. And then I joined all of the chambers of commerce at the time. I think now some of you are learning the story. And then I started ESAX. But around that time, I thought I need to branch out even more and associate myself as a musician. So I would wear music ties everywhere I went. My aunt, not the same aunt that I talked to in high school, another aunt came to town and said, hey, you saxophone player? Yeah. You do a lot of jazz? Yeah. Have you ever thought of wearing Fedora? No. Never thought of wearing Fedora. This is crazy. It's jazz. That's what you do. Went to Walmart, bought a $15 Fedora, and I was very shocked. I don't know if any of you knew me at that time, but you'd stare at me across the room, and I would look down. I wasn't the most outgoing person out there. Really, I was shy. And after a few months, trust me, when you wear a hat, people stare at you. Right? I would look down. And then after a few months, I thought, screw it. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. I don't care what people think. Love it or hate it, I don't care anymore. I'm going to follow my passion, my career, where it takes me. And I started wearing this hat. And it's very few people wear hats these days. And I really bought into this whole brand. And I became the Fedora. I became the brand. And should I say really cool? One of my fancy cards is a Fedora. I went all out, it's crazy. But it turned into a big part of what my business is. Because I finally, like you were saying, you have to believe in yourself and you just have to have that passion. I realized a long time ago that I had to have this passion. Because I had to create something. I had to, there was no other choice. The time that I decided to really go all in music was when the time was, if I'm not getting gigs, I'm not going back to government. The ship has sailed, I'm done. I seriously considered selling my house because I had no other option. And meanwhile, my parents still think I'm crazy. I should still do something with my life and get a new job. Done, not listening to them. But it's so much about following your authenticity and having people, the community buy into what you do. And I think a lot of the times, if there are more events like this, Michael, and people can see really why people started businesses and some of the passion they had, I think it would really build a lot more in the community. Because we were talking earlier about how hard it is to get people out to events. If you organize events, it's not easy to get people out. Why do people come out? Yeah, support local, support the community. They have something you want to offer. It's the return on investment. But ROI has a lot more than just sales. Whatever business you're in, I encourage you to think about, well, what do you get out of attending events? It's just, instead of you sitting in front of the tube, watching Netflix, some people like me used it as my social engagement. I would go, well, when I was really starting the band and whatnot, yes, I would still go to network events, but I never went out drinking with my friends. I didn't have that many friends here. It was my social occasion. And a lot of the times I realized that nobody's going to hire me because they're looking for a band for their 600-person cocktail reception. How often do you have a 600-person cocktail reception? Like once a year? Once every 5 years? So I was developing these relationships with people that, in the eventuality that they might need me. But what I was doing without realizing it was developing relationships. And I thought that it's those relationships, going out of my way to help other people with their connections, is going to help me out. Not right away. It might not happen. It might happen in 3 years from now, but that's fine. I wasn't looking for the immediate gain. Most business coaches will tell you, you have to get the gains now. You have to have your pipeline, you have to do all your things to get your clients. I wasn't looking at that. I was so concerned with being in business in 5 years from now. There was no other option for me. I'm pleased to say that I'm still in business since 2011 with the band. I started these sites in about 2012. And they're growing like crazy. And I'm starting launching it. So if I mention it, this is the first time I'm publicly mentioning that 2 things. We're starting a membership for sites. People can save discounts and get perks. And 2, we're starting a much more exclusive networking event every month. We're calling it Exclusive Experience. You heard it here first, folks. Exclusive Experience. Anyways, come and see me later. I'll be happy to chat you up, tell you more about it. But all I want to leave you with, supporting the community, seeing you out here to help out Michael and then the other speakers. They're heartwarming stories. Now, not every entrepreneur you meet is successful right away, if ever. It's always a struggle. Always. I struggle every day. We all work hard so that we stay in business. It's not instant gratification like this. It's a passion. Workaholics, this is what we do. I mean, yes, we're kind of concealing it, but like I was saying earlier, but following your passion and reaching out to the community to build your support network helps people stay in business and they live longer too, I think, instead of doing it all on your own, reaching out to people. So Michael, thank you so much. And I hope this helped.